What is going on, everyone? Welcome to a very special video on my channel. Now, you may have seen me mentioning it over the past week or so, but now all new Reddit gang merch is live. The store is looking nice and clean, as you can see. We've got t-shirts, hoodies, and even embroidered hats for you to check out. With sizes from extra small to XXL and worldwide shipping, there is choice and availability for literally all of you. This has been a long process, deciding on designs, materials, checking out samples, and more. But I am so excited to finally be releasing merch that I am really proud of. After conversing with multiple different companies, I decided on going with Crowdmade. Now, they work with insane creators that you might have heard of, such as GeoFilms, Ice Poseidon, Jax Films, and even Crazy Russian Hacker. And they simply offer the best quality clothing that I could find. Their stuff is so comfortable and it fits really nicely. This is why I am so happy to be releasing merch with them that I personally love. For those of you that may be a little newer to the channel and may not understand the Reddit gang reference, that is the nickname we like to call ourselves around here, after reading probably one of the craziest EntitledParents stories I've ever come across. Now, if you want to know more about that, click the I button in the top right hand corner to check that video out. So yeah, if you like the look of the merch, click the link in the top line of the description or in the pinned comment to go and have a look. I will be so grateful if you do choose to pick something out, as it will offer massive support to me and ensure the continued growth and success of the channel. When your clothes arrive, tweet me at Redditor YT and I'll follow you and retweet. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this for a long time now, and I'm glad this day has finally come. I really hope that when you guys get your merch, you'll enjoy it as much as I do. Anyway, with all that being said, I think it's best that we now get into some EntitledParents stories. Parents refuse to pay me back the $500 they owe me. A common thing to happen in my family is my parents demanding me to buy them stuff off Amazon because, well, they are entitled. I have Amazon Prime, so I understand using my account. However, they also make me use my debit card to pay for stuff, and eventually they do pay me back. Still, it's incredibly annoying. It's never been a huge amount of money, but this time around it was a set of chairs worth $500. I first rejected the idea, mostly given that I'm still in college and only made about $10 an hour at the time. $500 was about a quarter of the money I had in my bank account at the time. I told my entitled mother this, and she went off on me, claiming that I don't love her and that I don't trust her to pay me back, and she began to cry. You know, basic parental manipulation tactics. I comply and buy her the chairs, and I am out $500. She then tells me she will pay me back in about 3 days when my father gets paid. 3 days later, still no money. To avoid a fight, I just bite my tongue. Then a week passes, and then another week. After about 2 weeks of not being paid, I was incredibly annoyed. I also worked almost every night this summer at a customer service job, so naturally I want to relax on my days off. Cue my parents that decided we need to deep clean the entire house. I'm helping, and then I receive an email about an interview for an internship that I've been working hard to accomplish. I'm reading the email, and that's when it happened. Entitled Mum. So, are you gonna do any work today, or just sit on your butt all day? I'm so annoyed and tired. Really? You're gonna say that after I bought those chairs for you? You ungrateful SOB, I pay for your college. I'm not doing anything until you pay me back the $500. The entitled mum is now crying. You're so disrespectful after everything we've done for you. Some fun details. My parents actually don't pay for my college. All the loans are in my name. My father's ego was hurt after bringing up that fact. I threatened to return the chairs, which only caused more fights. Long story short, I had to literally tattle on my father to my grandmother to get my money back, and they now have the chairs. This is actually a normal thing, and I really see myself going no contact in the future. Wow. In that situation, if you can't afford an item or can't afford to be without the money that item costs, then just don't buy it, right? So if your parents don't want to pay you, just don't buy the item for them unless you get the money up front. That's all I'm gonna say. If they can pay you up front and you see the money in your bank account, then yeah, sure, go for it. But otherwise, be very careful, my friend. Moving on to our second story. Entitled Grandma tries again to get me fired. So this is actually a follow-up to a previous story from about 3 months ago, but we're not going to read that first part. We're just going to get a quick summary here. So basically, this old lady who dyed her hair hot pink for some reason tried to get me fired for writing terribly on her grandkid's birthday cake, even though I never wrote on it. I don't know what her problem is, but for some reason she just hates me and wants me out of the store I work in. I really didn't think I'd ever have to deal with her again, but today unfortunately came a part 2 to the story. I was working the morning shift after morning classes, which sucks donkey balls, when this lady comes up to the counter of my department. I didn't recognize her at all, but she obviously recognized me because I didn't even greet her before she started talking in an annoyed tone. It was the entitled grandma's daughter.
Hey, I remember you.
Really? I don't remember you, sorry.
The birthday cake. My mum bought a cake from here and says you wrote that rubbish on it.
Oh, I remember your mum. Hang on, I've just realized that this grandma is a grandma, right? So her daughter's not going to be a kid. So I'm not sure why I'm doing the kid's voice, but I kind of like it. I'm going to keep going with it.
I hope you know you made a 7-year-old boy cry on his birthday. I'm surprised you're even still here.
Okay, so yeah, maybe she's got a 7-year-old son, but I don't really care. Well, that must have set off a trigger, because normally I'm actually pretty submissive. I was pretty much molded into it by years of customer service and HR breathing down my neck. But dealing with that lady made me regret ever working in this store, and I was not going to take the blame for something I didn't do anymore, even if it cost me my job. Alright, look lady, I'll have you know, my boss and the security tape proved I didn't write on that cake. So it's really not fair to come in and yell at me for something that happened months ago, and for something I didn't even do. Weren't you there with her when you got the cake? And that actually made her pretty cool. She stopped looking like such a lady. She actually looked kind of guilty.
Well, actually, yeah, she took it home. I didn't see it until the next day, I think.
I remember, she said she was going to have your brother write on the cake for her.
Wait, she said that?
Yeah, she said he was a bakery manager. Is that true?
I don't have a brother.
Wait, you don't? Suddenly, I was just as confused as she was. She and I were trying to wrap our heads around the situation to find out the truth. It was like we were trying to solve a robbery. She was recapping everything that was happening that she remembered, and I was explaining what the entitled grandma was saying to me when she came in to complain. And we both kept bringing up the son that she kept telling me about. That was when we both came to the most plausible explanation. This old lady tried to write on the cake herself, was unsatisfied with how it came out, then pinned the blame on me so she didn't look bad. The daughter was instantly ashamed of her mother, who apparently did this kind of stuff a lot. She offered to tip me for being a good sport, I guess, with $5, but I declined and waited on her like before. Unfortunately, I can't take tips, dang it. When she was gone, I stopped for a minute and held my head. Then, I'm out on the floor and suddenly, from the store entrance, there she is, the entitled grandma, looking just as crazy as she did before, her hair still dyed pink. She waddled over to the office. I couldn't hear what she was saying, but she looked enraged. The phone rings. It was my manager. OP, can you please come up to my office? Oh boy, here we go again. I make it up to his office and she's sitting there. Her arms are crossed. She was staring at me with eyes like daggers. I walked in. The manager pulls up a chair. Security was standing at the door and he had a smile on his face. OP, this lady says her daughter came in and I wasn't quite intimidated anymore when he actually chuckled. E.G. looked at him with a me gusta look.
Why are you laughing? This is not funny.
He laughs again. OP, do you know her daughter? Well, I did talk to her earlier today. Why?
So you admit that you tried to seduce my daughter?
Wait, what?
Don't play dumb, you pervert. You know exactly what you did.
Mom, he actually pulls out a pad and paper. Why don't you tell me what happened?
Gladly.
She told him, and while she talked, he wrote her testimony out.
My daughter called me and said that this man, who you should have fired months ago, was telling her to show him her breasts in public. He even told her they can go into the bathroom where he probably was going to rape her. Isn't that right, you POS?
By this point, we were all laughing. Me, my manager, and the security all laughing at this insane lady. Now she went from the me gusta face to the are you serious face?
Why are you laughing? Arrest this man, he's a rapist.
OP, why don't you give your side of the story?
What?
I'm wiping a tear away from my glasses, gladly. So he starts writing again. Her daughter came in, we talked, she told me about the last incident with the cake, she apologized for her mother, who is right here, and we both agreed that all this is because this lady wrote on the cake herself, knew it looked bad and tried to blame me for it, and get me fired, like she's doing right now. Now that sounds a lot more believable.
What? You're saying all this is my fault?
Mom, if I remember correctly, we looked at the security tapes and found that you walked out of the store with the blank cake. Then you came in and tried to make me fire an innocent man. You also said your son would write on it.
Yes, but he was busy, so I brought it.
And your daughter also told me you don't have a son. Oh, really? By this point, her face was red, like cherry Kool-Aid red.
Why are you arresting this sick loser? He raped my daughter.
How could he when there were several people around who we can easily call up and verify if he did or didn't?
But you're supposed to take the victim's side, not the rapist's.
The security guard laughed, holding his face. Okay, OP, I think it's safe to say you can go back now. Yeah, sorry. No problem. I get up and this fat lady lunges at me, trying to grab me. But instead, she falls off her chair and lands flat on her face, her flab spreading out on the floor. She starts squealing, literally. I tried my hardest not to laugh, so I just left. I went back in tears, laughing more and more. At the end of my shift, both the manager and my department manager got together with me, sat me down, and apologized for this whole ordeal. The manager said that the security guard walked the entitled grandma out of the store, her throwing a fit the whole way out, and said that from this point on, she was on the watch list. This list is for shoplifters and county criminals, so for security to keep an eye on. So in other words, if she comes near the store again, the security will throw her out and call the police on her. The manager gave me a $20 gift card to the store, and my department manager treated me to a few drinks at the bar after our shift. We both laughed at the fact that this lady really wanted me to go to jail over something as stupid as writing on a cake. Well, that was a pretty hilarious story. But seriously though, can someone explain how the OP could have possibly raped someone in public and have no witnesses? That is a rhetorical question, by the way. Please don't actually answer it. Anyway, that is going to be the end of this one. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please, if you are interested in this merch, it's taken a long time to get it to this standard, so I hope you go over to the store and check it out. Apart from me being really proud of it will really help me out if you do go and buy something. So yeah, go and check it out for me. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this special video, and I will see you all tomorrow with a normal video.